Week 2 in the books, going on to week 3. That week 2 was a little tough for us this
Well, I took a
well.
beating. Yep. I am surprised. I'm not going to lie on a couple of these games. And, we'll talk about the Denver Indy game. What a fluke.
Yeah.
What a fluke. Terrible, terrible loss based off of a penalty, if you will. But you know what? Daniel Jones is, I've seen so many players move from one team to another team and end up rejuvenating their career. And maybe this is his rejuvenation team, Indianapolis. And I'll tell you right now, going into week 3, they have the potential to go 3-0.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be surprised. I can tell you that right now. I would not be surprised to see that happen because they're playing good football. You
That
know,
they are.
overall, the
Do
whole
you
team.
know that they're the only team in NFL history to play their first 2 games without punting a football?
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
They have not punted yet.
That's pretty stout.
Yeah. But here's the thing with that Denver game. Crazy as it is, you should know that you cannot jump over the snapper like that.
Yeah, you can't get leverage. That's
They all know that, so why do it?
well, you know, I don't know why
I don't
commit,
know.
4 penalties in a row like the Giants player in the Dallas game.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was 4 in a row. Hell, I can't remember, but I know he definitely put a spotlight on himself.
yeah. I think I had him at what, 5.5, 6, something like that,
Yeah,
and
6. And Dallas should
yeah,
have won. And Dallas should have covered that, but hey,
right. Because Russell Wilson
hats off to
looked like
Russell Wilson.
2016 Russell Wilson is what it looked like.
Russell Wilson, best game of his career. Yardage
I think
wise, I
so.
know that.
Was it like
Uh,
450 yards or something like that? It's crazy, something
yeah,
crazy, man.
crazy. I mean, at his age, I thought for sure that Dallas would contain him, which they did as far as mobility goes. But I mean, he was dropping them in the breadbasket. He played a great game. Dallas's secondary defense got smoked.
Wow. It was
You
like
know,
they were a deer with like headlights showing shined on them because they just froze. I was like, what is this guy doing? Of course, like I was mad on that fourth down. I mean not fourth down, the fourth quarter, that what was it, under 2 minutes when he threw that like 40-yard pass,
mhm.
and you just see the secondary just sitting back like, dude, run. And then when he decided to run, it was a little too late. So I was like, oh,
Yep.
game's over. But it was good to see Aubrey kick that 64-yarder. That was nice.
Yeah, I tell you what, that guy right there deserves a $60 million contract.
He's something, man.
Yeah, he is.
Sick.
He is. You know what, Jerry? I know. There's just they don't pay kickers in the NFL.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you don't hang on to this guy, you know, if you make a move to not try to keep this guy, there's something wrong with you. Because he has saved their butts in more than one occasion.
Right. Yep. Well, now
And it'll come in valuable.
we're gonna
Excuse
be
me, it'll
moving on
come
to
in
week
valuable.
3, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you one thing. I have a guarantee win.
Which
I'm
one is it?
calling it. You want me to start it off?
I want go ahead. Yeah, sure.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I like to leave this one last.
Well, that's fine because I got to tell you, I'm sitting here and I just, I've got, you know, I've got them written down who I like, and I've got some notes here. And then when I made these picks, which was late yesterday, some things have changed, and not just the line, but for example, Minnesota, McCarthy's out,
Yep.
Wentz is starting. I have not been a Wentz fan since the day he came in the league. I'm not going to be one today. I had Minnesota as one of my picks against Cincinnati. And I can tell you right now, there's no way in the world that I can put that out there and bet on Carson Wentz. Yeah, I know there's, 10 other players on offense and 11 on defense, and it's Cincinnati Bengals, but I just can't see myself laying this, I just can't do it. So I'm going to tell you that one of my picks was Minnesota, and I'm pulling it off the board. Jake Browning stepped in last week for Burrow, went 21 of 32 with 2 touchdowns. Um, I just can't do it. So I'm not going to bet that game. I'm scratching it off of my list, but I was going to take Minnesota minus 3.5. So I'll just move on to my next pick and go ahead and give you this one. And this one's a tough one because there's a lot of points involved, but I really like the Buffalo Bills. They're playing good football. They're playing really good football. Allen, 14 to 25, 148 yards last weekend. But Cook, Cook stepped up, 21 carries, 132 yards for 2 touchdowns. And if they can have a running game and you can have a Josh Allen play like Josh Allen can play, I just don't see how Miami can stop them. Tua
Yeah.
really showed anything, of his past abilities yet. I'm not a believer in Miami. I am a believer in Buffalo. I think Buffalo is one of the best teams, if not in the league, definitely in the AFC. So I'm telling you that I'm going to lay the 11. It dropped. The line went from 11.5 to 12.5, back to 12 that I saw, maybe even 12.5, and then went back down to 11. So I bet it at 11, and I believe now it's back up to 12.
It just moved back up to 12.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's back up to 12. I'm looking at it here. So I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to cover against the Miami Dolphins this week. So I'm going to take Buffalo minus 11 as one of my big picks. Miami I just don't think they have the answer to stop Buffalo, and I don't think they have the offense to move the ball. Tyreek Hill has not been that big an impact player yet this season. I know it's only 2 weeks in, but still, once again, I'm taking Buffalo.
So that was my guarantee pick,
Wow.
but because I'm scared of the 12, because you kind of want to say Miami's gonna sooner or later play football, but I think they're just done. I don't know, like. So I'm taking Buffalo money line because if it would have been 11, maybe 10, I probably would have done 10.5. I would have just bought the hook. But I'm taking money line Buffalo on that.
Well, I can't fault you there, but I honestly think that I don't think the 11 points will come into play for the Dolphins. I think it'll be an easy victory for Buffalo. So,
I think
you
so
know,
too.
you know, I know we did terrible last week. It happens in the NFL. Any team
Yep.
on any given day can win, cover, whatever you want to say. But last week was terrible, and we definitely need a rebound this weekend. And I'm hoping that some of these picks are a rebound.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you want to go ahead and pick your second one?
So my second one, Atlanta Falcons going to Carolina. I'm gonna take Atlanta. Again, I don't see Carolina being anything this year. Um, it's even nothing. I mean, I don't. I watched. I I haven't watched completely Carolina because I can only stand a few minutes, and it's like I gotta change the channel and watch another game because it's just ugly football, is what it is. They made a run against Arizona, but that was late. I mean, I don't know if Arizona just decided to take the foot off the gas and then said, "Oh, we gotta start playing again." But Atlanta, the way their defense is, I think they're gonna stop the run game. Once they stop the run game, there's no chance for survival for Carolina. So I'm taking Atlanta -5 on this one.
All right. Okay. Good analogy there. My second pick, I'm going to go to the Green Bay Cleveland game. And I got to tell you, I said this, I know you know it before season started. And when they landed Parsons, I put the icing on the cake for me. I think it's the best team in the league. I have no doubts about that. Green Bay, in my opinion, is probably the best team in the NFL right now. Um, they're playing all around football. They're defense. Jordan Love, Kraft, and you get Parsons over there on the defense that just gave them a new life, a new spark, if you will, on that side of the ball. So I am going to tell you that this line has also moved. It's now 7.5. Green Bay minus 7.5. Cleveland, Flacco's struggling. He's having, I will be surprised if they lose this week. I won't be surprised if they lose this week that they put him on the bench. I think that's a good possibility. They have issues in quarterback, even in depth. Sanders, I believe, is still hurt. Um, so I don't know what they'll do, but I truly believe Green Bay is just a powerhouse, best team in the league right now. I have no issue whatsoever taking Green Bay. I'm going to buy it down to 7, and I'm going to lay the points. So I'm taking the Green Bay Packers to rout Cleveland. I'm saying by double digits, easy, in my opinion. And so I'll take the Packers, lay the 7, and I think it's going to be an easy victory.
Yeah, and you're right. So when Green Bay got Parsons, I still didn't care. I still thought Green Bay was going to play like trash this year. I did have them looking at their schedule. I had them like at, I think it's week 5 is their bye, so I had them like at 3-1 or 4-0. I can't remember, but after the bye, I had them losing. But just the way they're playing, yeah, I think you're right, man. I hate to say it because I'm a Bears fan, but I think you're right. They're going to win the division easily, and probably go very far in the playoffs, if not Super Bowl.
Yep,
So
they have the team. If anybody can do it, the Packers right now, they
yeah,
are. I haven't seen anybody out there that has been as dominant a team as the Green Bay Packers. There's teams
right,
winning, the Eagles are winning, but it's I just haven't seen it. So
right.
that's my
So
second one. So
all
I'll
right,
continue on if you want.
yeah, go ahead.
All right. So this one was kind of an easy one for me. I hate to say that, but we're talking Tampa Bay, New York Jets. Uh, Tampa Bay at home. They're
Yeah,
just great team. Baker Mayfield. I've been a fan of his. I was a fan of his at Cleveland. I can like players on teams and not care for the team. And Baker Mayfield is one of the ones that I just said I like him. I like the quarterback. I like his leadership. He shows up. He got 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Um, you know, Going up against your old quarterback in the past, Justin Fields. I think Tampa Bay, another easy victory, in my opinion, that Tampa Bay takes this game in double digits. The line is at 6.5, and I'm going to lay 6. I'm going to buy it down. And I've said it before, I always buy that hook off. I don't like it. I know it's a tiebreaker in some cases, but if the game ends on 6 somehow, I get a push if it ends on 6 and I give up that hook. I just hate losing that way. I love winning by it, but I hate losing by it. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'm going to buy it down to 6 against the Jets. Um, you just can't. I don't know if you can find life in the Jets. Maybe they need CPR, shock treatment, something. But that team over the years have just had, Achilles heel. They've had bad luck, and I just don't see it changing. Tampa Bay wins this game easily, double digits against the New York Jets.
and I agree big time. I'll tell you why. Because Justin Fields, they have him as questionable, but I don't see him playing this week because he had a concussion. So, I mean, does he come back and play? I highly doubt it. So they're going to be down a quarterback. My opinion, I think the questionable thing is just BS until tomorrow, when the injury report comes out Friday. So I as well with you, I'm taking Tampa Bay -6. This is my 3rd week that I'm taking Tampa Bay, and they've
I
yet to
know.
fail me. They
Yeah,
have yet to fail me. They've hit every single time. So
Yep.
I am
You've
taking
wrote them
Tampa Bay
out.
-6 on that. So, and again, like you, I agree. They're gonna win in double digits.
Yep. It's just the statistics, the numbers, the history, everything just points to an easy victory. And I know that's a
Yep.
terrible thing to say when it comes to the NFL, but that's how I feel. I just think it's an easy victory for Tampa Bay.
Yep.
If the same Tampa Bay team shows up, if they, fall asleep somehow, underestimate them, overlook them, they could be
Right.
looking at, the same thing that happened last week with the Colts game. They could be on a losing end. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully not.
Yep. So what are you looking at next there, KJ?
So my last one, Saints coming in to Seattle. I like the way Seattle played against Pittsburgh last week. They dominated the whole game. They controlled it. They they had Aaron Rodgers under control. They had the running game under control. It was fairly close in the first half, but then Seattle just runs off away. I think it was like what 34-17. And again, the Saints are another team that are lost. I think they do show some heart, but not the heart's not big enough. So I'm taking Seattle -7 on that. I do believe in Sam Darnold. I do believe in that team. They're gonna be a really good team this year, and I think it's 12 points they win by, if not more. So
Wow. All right. So I had two other ones to choose from. I had a whole skew of overs and unders that I wrote down here, but I'm going to go ahead and stay with sides again for one more week. If I'd have followed some of my totals last week, I probably would have went 4-1. But hindsight's 2020. So I had a choice between the Chargers and the Broncos game or the Eagles and the Rams game. And I think I'm going to stick with the Super Bowl champ game, the Eagles against the Rams. They're doing what they got to do to win. They're playing good football. They came close to losing last week against Kansas City. There at the end, I mean, it was a 3-point final game. I don't know if that score reflects how close it really was or wasn't. The Eagles just seemed to be able to pull it out. And in this case, to take the Super Bowl champs, the Eagles, and only have to lay a field goal it's just, to me, it's an easy pick. I know that they're playing at home. So for me, it's easy. I know, the Rams, they had a great game last week. They got Kyrie Williams, they got Nakua, they got Adams. I mean, they've got some weapons on that team. But I just think the Eagles, they're playing enough. They're pushing it over the edge. They seem to get stronger as the year goes on. They just do what they need to do to win. And so I'm going to do another buy down of 0.5 point. And I'm going to go ahead and take Philadelphia, and I'm going to lay the 3 points against the Rams. I do like Stafford. Um, again, you want to talk about a a history of a guy leaving a team and then going to another team. His first year with the Rams, what's he do? Takes it to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl.
yeah, yeah,
So, I've always liked him. I didn't like him when he was with Detroit playing against the Cowboys because he was good and he made plays. So in this case, I think the Eagles have a better team, and I'm going to stick with the Eagles to win that game, and I'm going to lay the 3 points.
okay. It's a good pick.
Well, I appreciate that.
It's and I think the way the Eagles play, even against Kansas City, if I think I'm right on this. Did Hurst, did he even throw over 100 yards? I don't
Last
think he
week,
did. Yeah.
no. Um,
And like they still won. Like they always find a way to win. And I think what, two people,
yards,
101. Yeah. And
no
you
turn.
still win against Kansas City, you know?
He
So
only threw the ball. His stats were 15 to 22.
that's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's Saquon in the backfield.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he didn't have that big a game. He only had 88 yards.
Yeah. That's what I'm
So
saying. Like, and they'll still win against Kansas City that needed the win. A lot of people are saying, oh, if they go 0-2, it's okay. Now their minds have changed. Now they're 0-2. They're like, oh, now it's time for panic for Kansas City. Like, yeah, but last week you said if they go 0-2, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Like, yeah. So yeah, I think the Eagles are the real deal, man.
yeah,
It's gonna
you
be
know,
it's gonna be Packers and Eagles conference championship.
it probably is. It's a good bet. It's a good bet there. A good chance. I can tell you that 0-2 is not a dead sentence. Dallas Cowboys,
Right.
the year Emmitt Smith held out, they went 0-2. They bring Emmitt back in. They win the Super Bowl that year. So 0-2 is not a dead sentence, especially if you have a talented team and you have good coaching. Andy Reid's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's proven that. But it also takes more than just a good coach. We'll use an example: Bill Belichick. What happened to New England? I know the team fell apart, or made some changes, and and players. When you lost Tom Brady, Belichick didn't do anything after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so players can make a team. Obviously, one player can be a big difference. Coaching can definitely make a difference. So I don't count the Chiefs out of anything yet. But I can tell you this: if they drop this one this week, um, it's going to be a lot of controversy of screaming and hollering going on.
Yes, there will be. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
those are my picks. I had a bunch. I had 2, 4, 6 over and unders. I even had a 14 parlay that I had wrote down that said I may play. I'm not putting it out there as one of my bets for you guys. I'll be glad to share it if you want to know what my plan is on that one. A quick freebie. What I would say if I do this 4-teamer, I'm going to do Washington, Indy, Atlanta, and the Chargers. If just a small 14 parlay for the heck of it, I'm gonna do all money line. I don't care what the line is, and put a few bucks on it and see what happens.
yep.
But we got to rebound. We got to bounce back. Hopefully this week we can turn it around. If anybody rode with us last week, sorry for the letdown. It was just as much a letdown for us as what for you. And again, some of that stuff that happened last week was a surprise, especially the Denver game. I don't want to rub salt in the wounds. I had no doubts about the Lions Bears game, which is the only one that
Yeah.
won.
Please start Tyson Bagent. Please.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, the Cowboys, nobody, I don't care who you are, expected that Russell Wilson and that team to show up the way it
No.
did. They're always competitive, rivalry games, always competitive. Buffalo, Miami could be a competitive game. It could be a Dallas Giants game. That's the chances you take. But if you follow stats and statistics and history, and you watch the games and you pay attention, everything tells me Buffalo should blow them out. But will
Yep.
it happen? Who knows? Rivalry game, teams like that get up to play each other, and Miami may step up saying, "Look, we got this is our chance to turn this season around. This is like our Super Bowl playing Buffalo. We take them down. That's a big feather in the cap, and a very, very strong motivational um, momentum swing for them going forward."
Yep.
So
Well, just to
anyway,
recap on mine, I got Atlanta -5, Tampa Bay -6, Seattle -7, and Buffalo doing the money line. I'm gonna throw that as in a parlay as well. It's plus 698 on that
on which you gonna do all four of those?
on the parlay on all four. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I wish you luck, buddy. I wish
Thank you.
everybody out there, if you're paying attention to us and you're following us, we wish you luck. I want you to know that we don't, speaking on my behalf, I don't just pull these out of my butt. I watch other podcasters. I read up some of the stuff. I got, so many screens open on my computer here of footballs, different uh, places on the internet that I go in and do some research and read and study, and I compare what I'm liking to what some other people are liking, and some of these games that we're picking here, a lot of other touts out there are picking them. So hopefully we're all on the same page, and we
Yep.
we pull this out to be a W week.
Going to go what 8-0.
Yeah, hopefully so. That would be nice. We didn't go
All
against
right.
each other this week on
No,
any
we
game.
actually agreed. We actually agreed this week.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's either going to be a great week or we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's hope it's a great week.
Let's hope for let's hope
All
for that.
right. Did we
All right.
let's see, is that Minnesota game? Who plays tomorrow? Minnesota, right? No, Buffalo,
Is
Miami.
no
Yeah.
Buffalo Miami.
Again, I am just stunned, that uh I didn't know that Carson Wentz was the backup for Minnesota. That's how I guess I haven't paid much attention to that this year. I thought they had a younger backup, but you know what? Maybe Carson Wentz has that magical touch that he needs that
He's
he hasn't had since
he's done it in the past.
Yeah, well, I just not a fan. Sorry,
Me either.
And
Me
I'll tell
either.
you another one. I'll go out there and say it is Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a bust. I thought that since the day he started. That year, I thought, you know what, this guy, he got a big contract, got a big payday. Good for him, because I don't see him doing jack shit in the
I
NFL.
won't even bet on Jacksonville with your money.
Yeah, well, there you go. You'd be in trouble if you used my money because you wouldn't have it. All right, guys.
The juice will be going.
Yeah. You know. Anyway, that's it for me.
All right. We'll see you week 4. Everybody, good luck.
Best of luck. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.